right, software on the cluster. We have a lot of commercial and open source software packages installed on the cluster already. And there are lots of software development projects underway in various departments around campus. Um, if you're thinking of developing a software package or developing code to perform a particular type of calculation, it'd probably be a good idea to ask around in your department to see if someone else is already working on a similar project. Generally, we do have software installed, but we generally expect users to install their own software. We offer a lot of basic tools like compilers and a lot of libraries, and of course the site licensed software that the university owns, things like Abacus and MATLAB and COMSOL. All of that we've installed. But if there's something that you want to download and install, you should probably be doing that yourself, and instead of asking us to do that for you, because we have so many users, there's no way we can manage software for all of these users. Of course, you don't have to have parallel code. You don't have to have a parallel program to make good use of the cluster. There are lots of users who run serial executables, and they just run those on either one instance or lots of different input files are all processed by the same serial code. So you can run serial or parallel code efficiently on the cluster. We use the module system on Palmetto to manage software packages. And if you use the module avail command, you can see a list of all the available packages, and you can use module add or module load to load some packages. In this example, I'm loading both the Intel compiler suite as well as these InPitch parallel communication libraries. To list the modules you've loaded, you can use module list. And then to purge modules and clear out your system and return it back to its original state, you can use module purge. You can also purge individual modules rather than purging them all. So let's take a look at how that works. First of all, let's do module avail. And these are all the software packages that are currently installed. This list changes all the time. You can see that we have a few different versions of COMSOL installed here. There's Abacus, there's ANSYS. We've got the FFTW libraries, a lot of different versions of that. We've got GCC compiler suites, old ones and new ones. We've got a lot of molecular modeling applications like GROMACS and LAMMPS, NAMD, and some others. We've also got the Intel compiler suites, and those include the math kernel libraries. And we've got a lot of parallel communication libraries like InPitch and OpenMPI. And this collection of software packages is really just intended to provide you with a foundation. Some users do use these applications as their primary research tools. But again, you're expected to download your own software and perhaps use the GCC compilers or our Intel compilers and maybe some other libraries to build your own software for your research. If you would, go ahead and let's load some software modules. Let's do a module. Actually, let me demonstrate how this works by first trying to use the Intel C compiler. I want to run the ICC Intel compiler, and it's not found. If I type which ICC, it's not found anywhere in my path. So how do I add that to my path? Well, I'm going to use module add Intel, and I can choose any of the Intel packages. I'll go with 12.0. So module add Intel 12.0. So now, if I type which ICC, I can see that it's now available in my path. It's now available in my environment. That's how a software module works. It was previously not available by default, and then I simply add the software module, and it becomes available, and now I'm ready to use it. In addition to that, let me use a parallel communication library. I'll do module add InPitch 3, and I'm using InPitch version 3.0.4. This is the Ethernet only version. In other words, it's not optimized for Myrinet or InfiniBand. And this was built using Intel compilers, which is good because I've loaded the Intel compiler suite. And so those two packages should work nicely together. And I can take a look at the modules I have loaded with module list. And if I'm finished using those, if I want to instead use GCC as a compiler or something like that, then I can do module purge, and that unloads those software modules. And if I do a module list again, you can see that I no longer have any software packages installed. When I try to find ICC, it's no longer in my environment. So that's basically how software modules work. If you install your own software, you can install your own module system. It's not going to be available by default, but it is something that you can do. Users are welcome to do that.